right now, when we look at the way of the world right now, particularly when it comes to our voting rights, those things that we fought for back in the 60s, still prevalent now. And there's a definitive need for us to still be out here in the struggle. And when I look at the pandemic that's going out, that's another struggle. And we got to fight for that pandemic, just like we're still trying to fight to keep our voting rights act and many other things that we fought for back then. So it's a long journey, and we got to stay on the battlefield with it. And I've had the opportunity over the last 9 months to work with 4 different cities with COVID. Tuskegee, with some of the churches in Tuskegee, Selma, Birmingham, and Montgomery.
Wow.
And we're still out here doing that. And our emphasis now, too, with this pandemic is to ensure that we come up with innovativeness to particularly get our young people vaccinated.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Right.
Get our families and to continue to educate. And we, of course, we, like yourselves, we have been in the rural areas as well, still trying to do wake-up calls and bring more awareness to this effort. And one of the things that I constantly tell people, we just got to stop with the nonsense and use some common sense.
During those times in the civil rights, there was a lot of trauma, but it transforms people's lives in ways that may have made them stronger. Is that possible?
Very, very much possible. And I thank God that we still have those great leaders and civil rights activists like Dr. Bernard Lafayette, who are still here to tell us the stories and the significance of leadership and doing things in decent and in order with nonviolent trainings and much more. It was very traumatic. But let me tell you something about those traumatic experiences that everybody who was courageous enough to be a part of that movement during that time, in many instances what would happen or how you would be impacted. But it was the spirit and that courage that Dr. King and others had instilled in us with the philosophy of nonviolence. And those are still some of the tools that we still need to use today, particularly in training and mentoring our young people.